How we doing, guys? So I just got back home here in Michigan from Lake Eufaula down in Alabama, stop number 4, the MLF Invitational. And honestly, I did a lot better than I thought I was gonna do. Um, I've never been down to that lake before. I've never done any kind of ledge fishing or anything like that down south or anything. So I spent a lot of practice idling around looking for brush piles. I mean, everybody was looking for brush piles. One thing I noticed down there, though, is when not all brush piles are the same. And when you find some brush piles, generally your first 3 casts you're going to get bit. And 85-90% of the time, you're not getting bit again. You'll catch one fish off a brush pile, and that was it. You might as well move on to the next one. And I probably found, I don't know, 70, 80 brush piles. I didn't spend a whole lot of time on that because I found quite a few, but I looked shallow. I tried to get on like a frog bite, and I did fish some ledges. I caught one of my big fish. I caught a 5 pounder in the tournament on a ledge, I guess you could say, in about 21 foot of water, and it dropped off. It dropped off to about 40 feet, and came up to the top at about 12, and that's kind of it. I mean, I lost key fish. That hurt me bad. The first day, my first spot, I was fishing kind of. It wasn't a brush pile. It was just a hard spot. It was just a hard spot I found in practice, and actually caught 2 fish off it in practice, not meaning to, but in that area, and I went there day one on a jerk bait and lost one messing around with the net. Lost one right at the side of the boat, probably about 3.5, 3 3/4 pounds. And then, so that my second spot, I go to one of my best brush pile I had 3 brush piles that were really good, and I caught like a 5-2 off a brush pile in practice in this area. Lose another fish right at the side of the boat. I should have boat flipped him. He was probably pushing 3 pounds. He wasn't nothing crazy, but lose him right at the side of the boat, and then that was kind of my day one. I kind of got spun out on day one, and I went shallow. I went to brush piles. I caught maybe 10, 12 fish that were like 11 to 13 inches off brush piles, and after already losing 2 fish, I think I had 2 keepers at that point. I had like 2 fish that weighed 3.5 pounds at that point, and it was going on 11 o'clock, and I went up the river, fished new water, fished a frog, fished a swim jig, and then I caught like a 2.5 flipping, and my whole day was, my whole day was, I let myself get spun out. My whole day was ruined by those 2 fish, which that's gonna happen. If you're gonna fish these, you're gonna lose fish. That's just part of it, and you got to keep your head on, and you got to fish smart. I knew in this tournament it was gonna be few bites for me anyway, and you had to make the most of your opportunity. If you got a good bite, you had to get that fish in the boat. And I only got five keeper bites each day of the tournament, and I only landed 8 fish. So it was tough for me. Um, I really needed some of those. I think the first day I ended up losing like 4 keeper bites on the first day, and that it shouldn't have happened. It was on me, and I don't know if it was the hook set, if they were eating it weird, because these are super pressured fish down there. I learned that these are really pressured fish. It's not like up north here where I fish, where you can go out and catch on a spot. Early in the year, you can catch 20, 30 largemouth sometimes on some of these lakes. Lake Erie, I fish Lake Erie all the time, and great largemouth fishery, and it's not like that down there. A lot of pressure down there, and but anyways, it was a great tournament. Uh, I had a lot of fun. I learned a ton about that lake. It's kind of weird not having grass around. You idle around up by me, and any lake I go to is full of grass, and having no offshore grass, that was kind of different, but I like it, and I had fun, and honestly, I can't wait to get back down there and fish that lake again. It was a lot of fun.